Hi guys, today we are going to deploy on Netlify a React app. So this is the app that we are going to deploy. This is a simple typing speed app where you can get like some data. Just show you, you click on start and you start typing. And as you type, you can see that the words and the letters are changing colors based if you type right and wrong. And at the end you have like a score. But the goal is not show the app, but how do we deploy it? Okay, first of all, we have to create our repository in GitHub. So let's do that. So to create a repository, you have to create a Git file using git init. And in git init, we are going to add all. And after, we have to commit, and let's say the message deployment commit. Okay, so how does this work? First, the simple way to deploy an app on Netlify is to put the code on GitHub, and after it is on GitHub, we can access in Netlify. We choose the option to deploy from GitHub, and the steps are going to be very simple. So now that we have our Git file that you can see here in the stats, we come here. I'm going to connect to my GitHub account. Yes, I'm here. And I'm going to create a new repository. So let's going to say typing speed app. You can leave all that fields as default. It's going to be no problem. And you create a repository. And voila, the repository is not created. So now we need to push the code to GitHub. For this, since we already create the repository here, we just have to push it. So you create like that code. And forget to say before doing that, be sure to have a GitHub account. It's important. Okay, so now our code is now on GitHub. So if we refresh the page, yes, we can see like the files, they are here. So this was the first step, to put the code on GitHub. And now what are you going to do? It's going to Netlify, click here. So if you don't have an account, you have to sign up. For me, I just have to do login. Okay, so now I'm going to sites, and here I'm going to do add a new site. And I'm going to import here for an existing project. As you can see, there is the option to import from GitHub. It's authorized. You just have to look for the project in your repositories. Oh, it's the typing speed app. Okay, and mainly most of times you can let it like this by default, and you just click on deploying. And now what it's going to do, the Netlify, it's going to grab all the files from here from GitHub, and they are going to deploy it. So now the deploying is still in progress, but in some minutes it will be on air. And as can you see, after some minutes, our site is finally published. It got like that. random name. But if we click here, we can see like our typing app, it's working. So check it's working correctly. It is. We're going get start. So it's going to give us silence from an API. Start typing, and the counter, it's working fine, and everything looks working fine. Okay, so we can see that this is good and working fine. And that's it. That's how we deploy a React project. And I'll give you a final tip. So as you can see, we have like that random crazy name that it's not appealing at all, but we can actually change it. So if you come here, uh, what was site configuration, we come, where is, it's here, we come in site information, change name. So it's going to call it typing speed, and I'll put like my good name. I click to save, and voila. Now we have our site deployed, and we have our custom name, which is much more appealing than the random characters that we had